One of the things that they have discovered that is unique to the female body, the same group at Rutgers University, is that the vagus nerve, which is talked about a lot today online as a really important mind-body pathway, and it is linked with mind-body medicine. And if your gut flora is off, for instance, you can feel depression. So just balancing your gut flora, you can get rid of depression. Like there's this major mind-body connection, and it's thanks to the vagus nerve. Now, the vagus nerve, it doesn't connect to a male sexual organs for whatever reason, but probably because we have this birth potential and all, there's more going on with our sexuality, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it does connect to our uterus and it connects to our cervix. And even if you never have a child, one thing to know is that they've also discovered that this pathway allows a woman to orgasm. There's a mind-body connection with her orgasmic ability that is unique to female. Now, I do believe there's other research that shows that through intercourse, particularly vaginal intercourse, male and female, that a man through neural entrainment, if she's in that state first, he can then get in that state too, right? But, I see a lot of women's magazines, women kind of got gypped, like it takes longer for them to orgasm. They have to be in the mood. Like it's so much more problematic for us to have a great sexual experience. Well, yes, there is a need for women to feel emotionally connected to their body, emotionally connected. I'm not necessarily saying to their partner, but just have an open heart, like have an emotional connection to their own body, to their own sexuality is important because the vagus nerve modulates fight, flight, or freeze. And if she's in one of those states, it's not going to allow her to get into the deepest, most resonant state to activate this incredible mind-body activation. So it's not just through the spinal cord, it's also through the vagus nerve, as well as the hypogastric nerve and pelvic nerve. And so there's many nerve pathways from the cervix to the brain that make it a powerful mind-altering experience when a woman is receptive, relaxed enough at the beginning of sex to be able to activate that potential. So clitoral orgasms are, if you're just talking about the external clitoris, are described by women in a different way than when her cervix is engaged. When her cervix is engaged, women describe it as entering a different time-space dimension. They describe it as full body experience. They describe it as, if you look at the ways that 5-MeO is described and you look at the way a cervical orgasm is described, there's a lot of overlap there. And this is what gives us the sense that there's probably something going on there, as well as the fact that the same group in Rutgers University, they found that cervical stimulation in and of itself will produce an oxytocin effect. So this is called the Ferguson reflex. And it was known in the birthing process that during the stimulation of the vaginal canal, that there's this surge of the neurotransmitter, not just the hormone, but the neurotransmitter of oxytocin. And in recent psychedelic research, oxytocin does show up with DMT. It does show up as being elevated in the body. Another thing that happens during orgasm, prolactin is released, right? This study from 1982 that I talked about with the endogenous psychedelics, they implicate prolactin as one of the things that is elevating at the same time as DMT. So that happens during sex for both partners, male and female. But another thing that happens when I'm talking about the oxytocin boost and other things with her cervix, I'm not talking about orgasm in and of itself. Just penetration will also release noradrenaline into her spinal fluid, right? So there's just the very fact of stimulating her cervix will shift her into this mind-altering state if she is in a receptive place.